My fiancé was holding my sister's hand, kissing her during a live stream watched by the entire internet. My parents sat in the front row, applauding this betrayal. I stood there in my wedding dress, told to bow out gracefully, while public opinion branded me the vicious older sister. So I activated a clause in the will in front of everyone, freezing funds, calling in loans, pulling investments, driving my fiancé's family to the brink of bankruptcy within 2 hours. At the press conference, I released medical records, evidence, and recordings, tearing every lie apart piece by piece. I was standing in a suite at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, still wearing my wedding dress. Through the window, I could see all of Fifth Avenue. Today was supposed to be my wedding day. My phone rang. It was my fiancé, Lucas. "Emily, stop making a scene," he said, his voice cold as ice. "It's already decided. Don't embarrass yourself." "What do you mean?" I gripped the phone so tightly my fingers turned white. The call ended. My best friend, Sarah, burst into the room, her face pale. She was holding a tablet, her hands shaking. "Emily, look at this." On the screen was a live stream of a wedding. Our wedding. But the bride wasn't me. The officiant stood at the altar, his voice ringing out. "Now, please welcome our beautiful bride, Lily Carter." Under the spotlight, my sister Lily walked out in a wedding gown. It was the gown I had personally designed. 3 months ago, I had worked on the sketches with the designer, Claire. Every pearl, every inch of lace, I remembered them all. This gown was specially designed by Ms. Claire for Emily Carter. The officiant continued enthusiastically. "Just look at the exquisite craftsmanship." The live stream comments were flying by at a manic pace. "Heard the original bride got dumped? Lily's way prettier than Emily." About time they switched brides. The camera panned across the guests. I saw my dad, my mom. They were sitting in the front row, smiling so brightly. My mom even dabbed at her eyes, tears of happiness. Lucas stepped up to the altar and took Lily's hand. The way he looked at her was so gentle. I had never seen that look before. He leaned down and kissed her. Livestream viewers, 380,000. The entire upper crust of New York was watching. My phone started vibrating nonstop. News alerts popped up one after another. Breaking: second daughter of the Carter family replaces eldest at wedding. Inside the elite family bride swap scandal, Emily Carter dumped in public. Sarah wrapped her arms around me. "Emily, don't look anymore." But I kept staring at the screen, at the faces of the guests. I recognized them. Lawyers, bankers, politicians, socialites. That guest list, I had written it myself. Every single name was chosen by me. I dialed my father's number. It rang 7 times before he finally answered. "Emily," he said, sounding exhausted. "What you need to do now is withdraw with dignity. Don't disgrace the family." "Withdraw?" My voice was shaking. "Dad, that was my wedding." "Lucas chose Lily," he said, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "You can't force feelings. You're the older sister, you should support them." "Support them?" I looked back at the screen. My mother had her arm around Lily, carefully adjusting her veil. They looked so close. "Your mother feels the same way," my father added. "We all hope you'll be more mature about this." The call ended again. This time, it was final. Sarah opened social media. Lily had just posted a new update. "Thank you all for your blessings and special thanks to my sister for her understanding and support, even though it hurts to have caused her pain. True love can't be controlled." Attached was a photo of her kissing Lucas. The comments were full of praise. "Yuri, so kind. Still thinking about your sister. Emily should be happy for you. True love always wins." I sank onto the hotel carpet. The skirt of my wedding dress spread around me like a pile of discarded trash. "Something's wrong," I said suddenly. "What do you mean?" Sarah asked. "I finalized the guest list," I said, standing up and walking to the desk as I opened my laptop. "But Dad insisted on personally sending out the invitations. He said it was tradition." I logged into the family's shared cloud drive. A folder from 3 months ago, wedding preparation. I clicked it open. Meeting notes, budgets, vendor lists. I had access to all of it, all except one folder, final guest confirmation. Password required. I thought for a moment and entered Lily's birthday. Wrong. Then Lucas's birthday. Wrong. Finally, I entered my own birthday. The folder opened. It was empty. "They started preparing 3 months ago," I said softly. From the very day I set the wedding date. Sarah sucked in a sharp breath. I kept digging. I found minutes from meetings about the family trust, meetings I had never been invited to. I found photos of my mother and Lily reviewing wedding dress designs together, dated 2 months ago. I found a photo of my father golfing with Lucas's father. They were smiling so happily. So that was it. This wasn't a last-minute decision. It was a meticulously planned conspiracy. And my wedding, from beginning to end, had only ever been a path they laid out for Lily. The live stream was still going. The priest was reciting the vows. Lucas Miller, do you take Lily Carter to be your lawful wife? In sickness and in health, I object. A voice rang out from the back of the church. Every camera swung around at once. Mr. Harris stood there. He was the Carter family's chief attorney and had served our family for 30 years. He wore a dark gray suit and held a manila folder in his hand. According to the supplementary clauses of the will left by the late Mr. William Carter, Mr. Harris said calmly, each word crystal clear, I must now read the relevant provisions aloud in public. My father jumped to his feet. Harris, this is not the time, the clause stipulates. Mr. Harris interrupted, not even looking at him, that it must be read at a family member's wedding, before the exchange of rings. Otherwise, the will becomes invalid. Lucas's face went pale. Mr. Harris opened the folder. Clause 1, upon the marriage of granddaughter Emily Carter, her husband shall automatically receive a 30% equity stake in the Carter Group. The church erupted in shock. Clause 2, the New York Harbor real estate project, valued at tens of billions, shall be included as a dowry asset and jointly managed by Emily Carter and her husband. Lily clutched Lucas's arm, her fingers digging into his suit. Clause 3, the sole condition for the above clauses to take effect is this, the groom must be the lawful husband of Emily Carter. Mr. Harris lifted his gaze toward the altar. Mr. Lucas Miller, if the woman you marry today is not Emily Carter, then none of these clauses apply. Lucas opened his mouth, but no sound came out. There is also a breach clause. Mr. Harris continued, turning the page. If anyone attempts, through fraud, coercion, or any other means, to allow someone other than Emily Carter herself to use the above assets, the Carter family reserves the right to immediately withdraw all related funds and to reclaim all family financial support provided over the past 3 years. He closed the folder. To put it simply, Mr. Miller, if you complete this wedding with Miss Lily today, the $500 million in investment your family company received will be withdrawn within 10 minutes. In addition, you will be required to repay all business loans granted by the Carter family over the past 3 years. In total, he paused, approximately $870 million. The livestream comments exploded, HOLYSH*T. The plot twist of the century, so he was after the money? Did Lily even know? Lucas's face went from red, to white, to a sickly gray. He let go of Lily's hand. Lucas lunged toward Mr. Harris. This is impossible. How could a will have clauses like that? 2 bodyguards stopped him. They had been standing behind Mr. Harris the entire time. No one had noticed until now. Lucas's phone rang. He glanced at the screen. His hands began to shake. He answered. What? Now? But his voice grew smaller and smaller. Can you give me another 24 hours? Hello? Hello? The line went dead. My phone rang as well. It was Mr. Thompson, head of risk control at the bank. MS. Emily, per the will's provisions, we've initiated the fund withdrawal process. The $500 million will be fully returned to the Carter Family Trust within 2 hours. At the same time, we've issued a repayment notice to the Miller Group. Thank you, I said. One more thing, Mr. Thompson added. Your grandfather also established a supervisory mechanism. Once the breach clause is triggered, all Miller Group accounts associated with our bank will be temporarily frozen pending audit. I looked at the live stream screen. Lucas was making frantic phone calls, one after another. Each call drained more color from his face. Lily tried to grab him. He shoved her away. The guests began whispering. Some stood up and quietly left. My father rushed onto the altar and grabbed the microphone. Everyone, this is just a misunderstanding. The wedding will continue. No one paid him any attention. The live stream viewer count broke 1 million. Trending number 1, hashtag will clause reversal number 2, hashtag Lucas bankrupt number 3, hashtag the real protagonist Emily. My phone rang again. This time, it was Lucas. I answered, hit record, and turned on speakerphone. Emily, his voice was breaking. This is all a misunderstanding. Please, let me explain, go ahead, I said calmly. Sarah immediately leaned my phone toward the tablet's microphone. So more than 1 million viewers heard Lucas's next words loud and clear. I love you. I've always loved you. Lily, she seduced me. I just lost my head. Inside the church, every guest turned to look at Lily on the altar. All the color drained from her face. Emily, please, Lucas kept sobbing. Nothing happened between me and Lily. She was sick. She said she was terminally ill, that she didn't have long to live, and begged me to fulfill her last wish. The livestream comments flew by. Terminal illness? That excuse is ancient. Didn't look terminal when they were kissing certified trash men. Lily suddenly screamed. You're lying. You're the one who said Emily was boring. You said once you married her and got the money, you'd divorce her and marry me. The church exploded. Someone lifted a phone to record. My father tried to shut down the live stream but was blocked by security. Mr. Harris stepped in front of the camera. Under New York state law, if a wedding is interrupted before the vows are completed, no legal marriage is formed. I now formally announce, on behalf of the Carter family, this wedding is void. He looked directly at the camera, even through the screen. I knew he was speaking to me. Ms. Emily Carter, the choice your grandfather left to you is now entirely in your hands. Every camera turned toward the empty spot at the altar, the place where I was supposed to be standing. I spoke into my phone, and to the 1 million people watching, delivering my first public words of the day. Lucas, you never loved me. My voice was steady. You loved the 30% stake. You loved the multi-billion-dollar real estate project. You loved my family's name. You loved my inheritance. I hung up, right in front of him on the live stream feed, which, if the cameras were smart enough, had already cut to my social media page. I opened my contacts and found Lucas Miller. Blocked. Then Lily Carter. Blocked. Then Robert Carter, my father. Blocked. Finally, my mother. I hesitated for 1 second. Blocked. The live stream fell silent for a few seconds. Then the comments exploded. Absolute legend. The sister went full beast mode. This is what a real heiress looks like compared to her. Lily's a clown. I looked at the chaos in the church on the screen. At Lucas, slumped on the altar steps. At Lily, being held by my mother, sobbing. At my father, pacing frantically. I didn't cry. I didn't even frown. I just turned to Sarah and said, help me out of this dress. It's dirty, she said. 1 hour later, in the Waldorf Astoria ballroom, I was surrounded by reporters, at least 50 media outlets, cameras aimed at me. I had changed into a white suit, not as glamorous as a wedding dress, but sharp enough to cut. Ms. Emily, rumor has it you're infertile, and that's why Lucas chose your sister. Is that true? The first question was venomous. I looked at the reporter, remembering her name. She wrote gossip columns. Loved seeing socialites humiliated. I just had my annual checkup last week. I gestured to my assistant. Project the report. The screen lit up with my medical report. Health status, excellent. Fertility, completely normal. As for Miss Lily, I continued. She was hospitalized 3 months ago for acute abdominal pain. Her diagnosis shows severe endometriosis, with less than a 15% chance of conception. Should I make her medical records public as well? The reporters gasped. How did you? I'm her sister. I smiled. Our family medical records are shared. Another reporter raised a hand, regarding the will. Some claim it was forged by you. All documents are officially filed with the state court. Mr. Harris stepped beside me. Here is the filing number. You can verify it now. A third reporter, what are your plans for the Miller Group? Will you force them into bankruptcy? I'm just enforcing the contract. I opened the folder. Investments are being withdrawn because of their breach. Loan recovery is due to contract termination. Everything is legal and compliant. I looked into the camera. Also, I have 2 announcements. The room fell silent. First, under my grandfather's will, I now automatically hold 30% of Carter Group, making me the largest individual shareholder. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., I will attend the board meeting and assume the relevant duties. My father stood from the back row. I haven't agreed, you don't need to. I interrupted. This is my grandfather's wish. It has legal effect. Second, I continued. New York Harbor is now entirely under my responsibility. All partners should reconnect with my office. The project will continue and will not be affected by today's events. Reporters scrambled to record everything. Flashes lit the room. An hour ago, I was the dumped fiancé. An hour later, I was the largest shareholder of Carter Group and in charge of a multi-billion-dollar project. Livestream viewers, 3 million. 7 of the top 10 trending topics were about me. Halfway through the press conference, the door burst open. My father rushed in, my mother behind him, eyes red and swollen. "Emily, you must stop this," my father shouted into the cameras. "This is a family scandal. You're ruining the Carter family's reputation." The reporters eagerly adjusted their cameras, one on me, one on them. "Dad, the ones who ruined the family's reputation were you," I said calmly. "You conspired to give my fiancé to Lily. You planned this for 3 months behind my back. You chose betrayal when I needed my family most." My mother cried, "We did it for your good. Lucas doesn't love you. We didn't want you marrying someone who doesn't love you. So you let my sister marry him?" I countered. "Giving her a man who doesn't love me is for her good?" My mother had no reply. Lily rushed in, still in her wedding dress, makeup streaked with tears. "Sis, I'm giving Lucas back to you. Please, don't ruin his company. Don't ruin Mom and Dad's reputation." She lunged to grab my hand. I stepped back. "Give him back?" I smiled. "Lily, you don't seem to understand. I don't want him. As for Mom and Dad's reputation," I looked at the camera. "From the moment you chose to betray me, your reputation ceased to be my responsibility." My father roared, "This is unfilial. You'll be despised by everyone, then be despised." I picked up the microphone. "Now, I, Emily Carter, publicly announce," the reporters held their breath. "Effective immediately, I am moving out of the Carter family mansion. Cut all financial ties with Robert Carter and Grace Carter. And," I paused, "all emotional ties as well." My mother fainted. My father caught her, pointing at my trembling hand. "You'll regret this. Without family support, you are nothing." "We'll see about that." I turned and left the ballroom. Behind me, chaos, crying, shouting, camera shutters. That night, social media split into 2 camps: support Emily, a model of independent women; too ruthless, raised by your parents like that. Filial piety isn't blind. Compromise. Her sister almost fainted from crying. I didn't read the comments. I sat in my hotel suite, staring at the New York night skyline. My phone rang. An unknown number. I answered. "Emily Carter?" A deep, calm, cold voice said. "I'm Ethan Reed. I want to discuss the acquisition of the Miller Group with you." Ethan Reed had arranged to meet me at the private club on the top floor of Pier 57. When I arrived, he was already there. Early 30s, black suit, no tie, gray-blue eyes, like a winter sea. "Ms. Emily," he stood, pulling out a chair for me. "A pleasure, Mr. Reed." I sat down. "I don't recall meeting you before." "You haven't." He gestured for the waiter to serve drinks. "But I've been following you for a long time. Since you led the Central Park South project 3 years ago. That was my first independent project. Everyone on the board opposed it, but I made it succeed." "Cut to the chase," I said. "What do you want from me?" "The Miller Group." Ethan set down his glass. "They own 3 plots that connect perfectly to my development. If I get them, the entire Hudson waterfront will be mine." "So you want to buy them cheaply while their stock is crashing?" "I want them gone entirely," Ethan said casually. "And you need to make Lucas Miller pay. Our goals align." He pushed a folder across the table. I opened it. Bank transfer records, email screenshots, transcripts of meeting recordings. Over the past 2 years, Lucas has funneled at least $80 million through shell companies, Ethan said. Tax fraud, commercial bribery, securities violations. Enough to keep him in prison for 20 years. I looked up. "How do you have this?" "I've been waiting for him to slip up." Ethan smiled. "He stole 3 of my projects. Unfairly." "What do you want me to do?" "You hold 30% of Carter Group and sway over the billion-dollar project. He leaned forward. I need your support for my acquisition plan. At the board meeting. Terms of exchange? All this evidence is yours. You can go public, or hand it to prosecutors. He paused. And my protection. I don't need protection. You do, Ethan said, locking eyes with me. You think today is over? Lucas won't let this go. Your parents won't. Lily won't. You publicly humiliated them, socially killed them, and they will use everything they have to retaliate. He was right. Work with me, Ethan said. I'll deal with them. You help me get the land. Why me? I asked. You could go straight to other shareholders. Because. He smiled. I like watching traders get taken down, especially when the one taking them down is the one they underestimated the most. I stayed silent for a long time. Outside the window, the Hudson River flowed under the night sky. Across the water, New Jersey lights twinkled. I remembered today in the church. The second Lucas let go of Lily's hand, I remembered my father saying, "You should bow out gracefully." I remembered my mother holding Lily. Fine, I said. Ethan raised his glass. To our partnership. To our partnership. We clinked glasses. The wine was bitter, but I knew the bitterest part was yet to come. The next morning, 9 a.m., Carter Group board meeting. When I pushed the door open, everything fell silent. 12 directors, 11 men, 1 woman, average age 65. I was 27. Gentlemen, I sat at my rightful seat. From today, I participate in group decisions, representing my grandfather's 30% share. My father sat at the head, face grim. First proposal. I opened the folder. Terminate all cooperation with the Miller Group. The room erupted. You're insane. We have 7 ongoing projects. Unilateral termination incurs massive penalties. This defies all business logic. I waited for them to finish shouting. I will cover the penalties personally, I said. I've contacted the bank, funds are ready. Second, I continued. Withdraw all investments. Reclaim all loans. Legal department has started the procedures. Third, report Miller Group to the SEC for financial violations. Evidence has already been submitted. An older director slammed the table. Emily, you're trying to destroy Miller. You are almost married, all the more reason to be ruthless. I said, looking at him. Mr. Jean, if your fiancé married your sister on your wedding day, what would you do? He shut up. Vote now. My father gritted out. Raise your hand if you agree with Emily's proposal. I raised my hand. No one followed. Seems, I agree. Ethan Reed's voice came from the doorway. He walked in, not a director, but holding 5% of voting rights, just bought from an old board member that morning. Ethan, this is none of your business. My father stood. It is. Ethan smiled. I just became a strategic partner of Carter Group. Contract signed last night. He looked at me. I support all of Emily Carter's decisions. My 30% plus his 5% already exceeded 1/3. By the bylaws, major decisions need 2/3 approval, but termination of cooperation only requires 1/3 to enter review. The proposal enters review, I announced. Meeting adjourned. Within an hour, 7 termination notices sent to Miller Group. Bank loan withdrawal notices delivered. SEC investigation team on site. Stock price opened down 30%. By noon, limit down. At 2 p.m., news broke that Lucas's parents were hospitalized for heart attacks. At 3 p.m., Lucas disappeared. By the 3rd day, the tide had turned. Social media began circulating dirt on me. Emily Carter bullied classmates in college. Fake. I have alibis. She forced out senior executives to seize power. Those executives were corrupt and fired. Psychologist diagnoses her with antisocial personality. Forged report, the harshest. She knew about the will clauses all along and set her sister up, accompanied by a photo of me secretly meeting with Mr. Harris, actually from 3 months ago when he was explaining estate planning. Comments flooded. Creepy when you think about it, so she was the mastermind all along. Poor Lily. Carter Group stock started to plunge. The board called. Pressuring me, Emily, you must issue a public apology. Salvage your image. My father called. His tone softened this time. Daughter, come home. Let's sit down as a family. Just forgive Lily. Tell the public it was a misunderstanding. Everything will be fine. A text from my mother. I know I was wrong. Come back? I'll make your favorite apple pie. Lily went live, barefaced, in pajamas, eyes swollen like peaches. I don't blame my sister, really, she was just angry. I'm willing to step back, leave New York forever. As long as sister can forgive mom and dad. Her crying seemed so genuine. Netizens were heartbroken. Lily is too kind, Emily. Look at what you've done to your sister. Parents already apologized. What more do you want? Reporters were camped outside my apartment building. They shouted, Emily, do you regret it? When will you apologize? Are you trying to drive your sister to death? I stood behind the curtains, looking down at the sea of people. My phone rang. Ethan, check the news, he said. I turned on the TV. Breaking news, Lily Carter missing. The last footage showed her entering Central Park at 10 p.m. last night. She never came out. Her phone was found in the park. Screen shattered, alongside a single shoe. My mother fainted on camera. Emily, are you satisfied? You drove your sister to suicide. My father, in tears, please, help me find my daughter. She's only 23. The internet erupted in outrage. On the fourth day, a third of Central Park was sealed off. Police dogs, drones, divers. No sign of Lily, but a letter was found, in a waterproof bag, floating on the lake. It read, Big Sister, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. I hope my leaving will calm you. Please take care of mom and dad. Your sister, forever loving you. Handwriting verified, Lily's. The entire internet turned on me. My address, phone number, email, all exposed. People threw rotten eggs at my apartment. People called, cursing me to die. The board held an emergency meeting, demanding I temporarily step down, wait until the storm passes. My father held a press conference. Grief-stricken, I don't blame my eldest, she's just too strong-willed. I just want my youngest back. By noon on the fifth day, things took a turn. Lucas suddenly appeared. He jumped out of a car, clothes torn, face bruised, carrying an unconscious Lily. Cameras caught every second. I found her, Lucas shouted to reporters. She was in the hands of kidnappers. I rescued her. Lily woke up in perfect timing, clinging to Lucas and crying, I thought I was going to die. Kidnapping? Heroic rescue? Netizens went wild. Lucas is amazing. True love indeed. He still saved her, so it was all a misunderstanding? Emily should explain herself. Public opinion completely reversed. I was now cast as the jealous sister, plotting against her fiancé, driving her sister to attempted suicide. At 3 p.m., Lucas held a press conference. He held the weak Lily in his arms. Facing the cameras, I can finally speak. This was all Emily's design. She knew about the will clauses, deliberately coaxed me to show favor to Lily, and on our wedding day revealed everything, just to monopolize the family assets. She even hired people to kidnap Lily, to get rid of her completely. I have evidence. He held up a USB drive. These are recordings of Emily contacting the kidnappers. I've handed them to the police. Reporters went into a frenzy. Flashes almost lit the venue on fire. My phone rang. Board members, shareholders, lawyers. I hung up all of them. I turned on the TV. Lucas continued, I hope the law gives Emily the punishment she deserves. The press conference doors burst open. Ethan entered, flanked by 2 police officers. What a coincidence, he said. I also have evidence. Staff hooked up his computer. A video appeared on the large screen. The angle was covert, but the footage was clear. A warehouse. Lily standing, directing 3 men. Remember, tomorrow night at 10. Film the lake scene and withdraw. Money is already in your accounts. A man asked, should the shoe look more realistic? Yes, Lily said. Smash my phone and toss it nearby. The screen should look broken, as if it fell during a struggle. Timestamp, 4 days ago. 9 p.m. The room went deathly silent. Lily's face, pale as paper. Lucas tried to turn off the screen but was held by police. Ethan released another document. Bank transfers from Lily's overseas account to the 3 kidnapper accounts. $500,000 per transfer. Oh, and about that USB of yours, Ethan said, glancing at the tech staff. Want to hear it? The recording played. A woman's voice said, handle it cleanly. Money is no problem. The voice was processed, but technical analysis showed a 99.7% match to Lily's voice. Police approached the altar. Lily Carter, Lucas Miller, You are under arrest for suspected kidnapping, fabrication, fraud, defamation, and related crimes. Handcuffs clicked on. The live stream captured everything. Viewers, 10 million. 1 month later. Trial. Lucas charged with 12 counts, tax fraud, commercial bribery, securities fraud, perjury, defamation. Sentence, 25 years. Lily charged with 8 counts, fabricated kidnapping, fraud, defamation, falsifying evidence. Sentence, 10 years. Carter Group went into bankruptcy liquidation. As one of the creditors, I received some of their private assets, including the 3 plots Ethan had been after. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed me. Ms. Emily, how do you feel now? Will you forgive them? Your parents didn't attend today's trial. Are you cutting ties with them? I stopped walking. Feel? I thought for a moment. Nothing. Those who do wrong deserve punishment. That's all. As for forgiveness, I looked into the camera. That's God's business. My job is to deliver them to Him. The reporters froze, then furiously jotted notes. One last question. Now that you hold 30% of Carter Group, oversee a multi-billion-dollar project, and own part of Miller Group's assets, you're one of New York's youngest female billionaires. What's next? I turned, heading toward the waiting car. Survive. The door closed. Ethan was inside. Well said. Thanks for the evidence. I said. The covert footage, when did you set that up? The night you said yes. Ethan smiled. I knew they'd strike back. Just didn't expect them to be this dumb. The car drove toward downtown Manhattan. Your parents are looking for you, Ethan said. They want to see you. They admit their mistakes, beg you to spare Lily. And then? They hope you'll return the assets to their management, claiming you're too young to run a business. I smiled. To prison, I said. Now? Yes. See Lucas. Prison visitation room. Lucas wore an orange jumpsuit, unshaven, eyes cloudy. Seeing me, he lit up. Emily, you came to save me, right? You know I love you. Spare me. I sat. I'm here to ask one thing. What? Who is Lily? He froze. What? She's your sister. I checked her birth records. I locked eyes with him. Grace Carter. My mother did give birth to a daughter 23 years ago, but she died 3 days later. Death certificate filed at the hospital. Lucas's pupils constricted. 1 year later, my parents adopted an infant girl. That's Lily. I leaned forward, but the adoption record was falsified. I checked all orphanage archives, no record of her. So, I enunciated. Who is Lily really? Who sent her to my family? And for what purpose? Lucas began trembling. I can't say. If I do, I'll die. If you don't, you'll spend 25 years in prison. I leaned back. If you do, I can help reduce your sentence. At least make your time in prison bearable. He struggled for a long time. Finally, in a nearly inaudible voice, her last name. Winston. Winston. The name hit my memory like a knife. 20 years ago, the Carter and Winston families were mortal enemies. Business competition turned bitter and vicious. Then, a car accident. My parents were driving me home when a truck hit them. Mom suffered minor injuries. Dad broke 3 ribs. I sat in a car seat, unharmed. But Mom was 5 months pregnant with a boy, gone. Police ruled it an accident, truck driver fatigue. But if it was Winston's doing, Lucas said, avoiding my gaze. The accident, and Lily. They sent her to spy on your family, to find a chance to destroy the Carters completely. My father knew? Yes. He was in contact with Winston. They promised that once Carter was ruined, we'd split 1/3 of the assets. So, my father favored Lily all along. So my mother treated her as her own daughter. So they conspired to push me out. Because from the beginning, Lily was their chosen pawn, and I was in the way. The Winston family went bankrupt 20 years ago, right? I asked. The patriarch Joseph Winston died in the accident. Company liquidated. He didn't die. Lucas said softly. The one who died was a decoy. He's been behind the scenes all along. Now, he's back. I left the prison with icy hands and feet. Ethan was waiting in the car. Got the truth? Yes. I buckled up. The Winstons. You know about them? Ethan's hand gripped the steering wheel tightly. knuckles white. I know, he said. Voice changed. 20 years ago. That accidental fire that killed my parents? That was them too. I looked at him. He stared back with a hatred I'd never seen. So, he said, we have the same enemy. The car stopped at a red light. Rain began to fall. Over the next month, Ethan and I launched a full investigation into the Winstons. Joseph Winston, 65, supposedly dead for 20 years, but we traced him through bank records in the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, and Singapore. Using a dozen fake identities, he controlled a massive shadow empire. And now, he was back. He's quietly buying up Carter Group's scattered shares. Ethan pointed to the screen. Already 8%. Add in shares your father might transfer, he'll soon be on the board. My father won't, he will. Ethan pulled up a document. Your father's company made 6 massive losing investments over the past 10 years. Total losses exactly match the loans from Winston-controlled funds. So my father had been under Winston's control all along. He wants to use your father to gain control of Carter Group, Ethan said, his eyes cold. Then, to swallow me whole. What do we do? I asked. Strike first, Ethan replied. I've arranged a meeting, tomorrow, with Winston's agent. You're coming with me. Is it dangerous? Extremely, he said, staring at me. You can choose not to go. I smiled. Of course I'm going. The next night, at a private dock along the Hudson River, only one man showed up. Middle-aged, expressionless. Mr. Joseph offers $5 billion to buy all Carter Group shares you both hold. He said, take the money, leave New York, never return. What if we refuse? Ethan asked. The man smiled, then, unfortunately, the accidents and fires from 20 years ago could repeat themselves. Negotiations collapsed. We left the dock, walking toward the parked car. Crossing the street, a truck suddenly accelerated toward us. Too fast, too close to react. I froze. Then a strong hand shoved me aside. I hit the ground. Screeching brakes, impact, shattering glass. I scrambled up. Ethan lay 5 meters away, motionless. The truck sped off. I ran to him, dropping to my knees. Blood everywhere. Ethan. Ethan. He opened his eyes, pupils dilating. Emily, his voice was faint. Win this war. Don't talk. The ambulance is coming, my study's safe, he coughed, blood trailing from his mouth. The code, your birthday, inside, all evidence, and my will, what will? You're not dying. The shares, all to you, he gripped my hand. Astonishingly strong. Promise me, Win, his hand went limp. The ambulance sirens drew closer, but all I heard was the shattering of my own heart. 3 days later, Ethan's funeral. I did not cry. Dressed in a black suit, I stood before his gravestone, staring at his photo. So young. 32. The lawyer read the will. All of Ethan Reed's assets, Reed Group, stocks, real estate, investments, transferred to me. The only condition, I must carry out the liquidation of the Winston family. He prepared this long ago. The lawyer handed me the documents. Ever since he met you, he modified his will. I turned to the last page. A handwritten postscript, Emily. If you see this, it means I am no longer here. Don't be sad. Don't stop. Win this war. And see the future we were supposed to share. I closed the file. Turned. Reporters swarmed me. MS. Emily, now that you control both Carter and Reed Groups, one of New York's most powerful women, how do you feel? What are your next plans? Will you avenge Mr. Reed? I looked into the cameras. Feel? I said. Nothing. Power is not a gift, it's responsibility. Next step, full liquidation of the Winston family and all affiliated entities. I have submitted all evidence to the SEC and FBI. Joseph Winston was arrested in Switzerland this morning. Reporters gasped. As for revenge, I paused. Ethan didn't need me to avenge him. He needed me to win for him. I walked toward the waiting motorcade. My assistant followed. The board meeting starts in 10 minutes. Also, your parents want to see you. They're waiting in the office. I won't see them. They said, if you refuse, they'll go to the media. Say you're cold-blooded, unfilial, won't even acknowledge your parents. I stopped. Then let them say it. But public opinion, I don't care about public opinion. I opened the car door. From today onward, I am public opinion. The car drove toward the Carter Group building, top floor boardroom. All directors were present, including my father. He looked 10 years older, hair fully white. Daughter, he stood, trembling. We were wrong. We truly know we were wrong. Sit, I said. He froze. I walked to the chairman's seat, once my grandfather's, then his, now mine. Let's start. First proposal, remove Robert Carter from all positions. All in favor. Raise your hand. I raised mine. Then one by one, others followed. 11 directors. 7 hands. Over 2/3. My father slumped in his chair. Second, I continued. Launch a comprehensive audit of all Winston-related transactions. Legal has prepared the documents. Third, restructure the group. Under the new structure, I will serve as chairman and CEO. No objections. Not a single audible breath. The meeting ended. I left the room. My mother waited by the door, eyes red and swollen. Emily, please. I only have you now. I looked at the woman who gave me life. The one who once held me and told me stories. The one who later held Lily in her arms and pushed me out. You still have Lily, I said. Wait for her to get out of prison. Emily, she cried. Do you have to be this ruthless? I entered the elevator. The doors slowly closed, blocking her cries. Back at my office, I stood by the floor-to-ceiling window. New York sprawled beneath me, a city that once tried to consume me. Now, it was in my hands. My phone rang. From the prison. MS. Emily Carter. Lucas Miller wants to see you. He says he has critical intelligence about other Winston family plans. I won't see him. He said if you don't, you'll regret it, then let me regret it. I hung up. Outside, the sunset bathed Manhattan in gold. My assistant knocked. MS. Emily, the charity gala is ready. You're scheduled to speak tonight. Understood. I glanced once more at the skyline, then turned, never looking back. No longer the Emily needing a wedding car. No longer the betrayed fiancé. No longer the daughter craving her parents' love. I am the rule. I am the victor. I am New York tonight, and every night after. The brightest light.